Love staying informed? Subscribe now and get unlimited access to local news, weather, and sports for just 99 cents a month for your first 3 months at duluthnewstribune.news/join. Read every story, listen to every podcast, and download the apps that keep you informed on the go 24 hours a day. So head to duluthnewstribune.news/join right now to subscribe. What are you waiting for? You'll get 3 months of local news for just 99 cents a month at duluthnewstribune.news/join. Hello, Northlanders. It's Thursday, February 16th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now, here's a look at today's headlines. Anyone who experienced the 2012 flood understands the importance of being prepared for unthinkable events. But when assessing flood risks, local authorities, developers, and insurers often have had to rely on maps dating back to 1981 to 1992. That's about to change. Federal Emergency Management Agency officials have drawn new flood insurance rate maps for St. Louis County and other parts of the nation. Residents will have an opportunity to view and discuss those proposed floodplain maps and the accompanying risk assessments at a public meeting from 5 to 7 p.m. today at the St. Louis County Public Works Department at 4787 Midway Road. Your assessed flood risk could mean the difference between whether or not a lender can require you to purchase flood insurance and how much you can expect to pay for that coverage. It could also affect the value of your property. FEMA does not rely on one-time events, such as the 2012 flood, to shape its maps, but rather looks to assess long-term trends. To access the map, visit duluthmn.gov/planning-development/environmental/natural-resources. The Minnesota Supreme Court on Wednesday upheld a ban on voting for felons who have been released from prison but are still serving parole or probation. The decision comes more than a year after the American Civil Liberties Union argued the case before the Supreme Court in the hopes of restoring voting rights to nearly 50,000 felons on probation in the state. A group including people serving probation for felony convictions brought the lawsuit in 2019. In a 75-page ruling released Wednesday, most justices on the court did not agree that the ban violated the Constitution, despite its disproportionate impact on Black Minnesotans and Native Americans. They said restoring the rights of felons is a task for the legislature. Now that the court has ruled the restriction does not violate the Constitution, the question goes to the legislature, where Democratic farmer labor lawmakers are advancing a bill to allow people who have been released from custody to vote. The House passed a bill in early February, and companion legislation is moving through the Senate. Governor Tim Walz has expressed support for restoring felon voting rights. Minnesota law currently bans felons from voting until they have completed their entire sentence, including parole, supervised release, and probation. The ACLU in the past has said felon disenfranchisement particularly affects greater Minnesota, where probation lengths are on average 46% longer. Washington, D.C., Maine, and Vermont allow everyone to vote, including incarcerated people. Dan Williamson now joins us with one of our colleagues.
Thanks, Wyatt. I'm here with Duluth News Tribune features reporter Melinda Levine. And Melinda, there's a story that you're working on that we can see in Saturday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune, as well as online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. And this story that you're working on involves an Airbnb in Two Harbors. Do tell.
Yeah, so earlier this week, photographer Jed Carlson and I headed up north and visited with Janelle Jones. She purchased an 8-bedroom, 4-bath historical house in the heart of the city. She turned it into a set of quirky short-term rentals. Twist and Shout is what Jones calls her mid-century main attraction, featuring black and white tiled floors, seafoam green walls, a chrome dinette set, and a set of car couches. The former P.K. Anderson home and the site of Two Harbors' annual Under the Spreading Walnut Tree Art Fair features 2 other short-term rentals. Jones said she doesn't have much experience with the 50s era, but her mom was an Elvis fan and she grew up listening to his music at home.
Interesting. So it's called Twist and Shout.
Yeah, that's the name of the kind of the main attraction Airbnb of the 3.
What was your biggest takeaway from this?
Yeah, for me, just never to underestimate how cool it is to be in a thoughtfully curated space. The details of this Airbnb rental were so intentional and really quirky. Like there was a huge slinky on top of the fridge. There was a triangular Rubik's Cube. There were all of these metal wall hangings that looked so, rustic and old. And yeah, I think that just being in cool spaces and having the experience of that is what's attractive to readers who like these stories and for me who's writing them.
What do you hope our audience takes away from this?
I hope they just take away like, hey, here's another person doing something cool in our area.
Very, very cool. I'm sure they will. And we can see this story in Saturday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune and, of course, online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. Melinda, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Dan.
Wyatt, let's send it back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Now here's your forecast brought to you by the News Tribune's 20 Under 40 Awards.
Good morning. This weather forecast for the Duluth area. Sunny today with a high only in the teens. North winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour or so. Tonight, clear skies. Temps will drop a little below zero. Northwest winds around 5 to 10. Sunny again tomorrow, and temps will begin to warm up at the expense of wind. Increasing southwest to west winds at 15 to 25 and gusty will start warming temperatures up into the 20s, and it will be a warmer start to the weekend. There will also be a chance of a little snow coming on Sunday. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the 20 Under 40 Awards for their support. Now is your chance to nominate someone younger than 40 who's making a positive impact in our Northland. Nominations are open through February 28th. Submit yours at duluthnewstribune.com/20under40. Reporting for today's episode was done by Peter Passy and Alex DeRozier. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.